Oh, we've all been there. Those slight moments of brain freeze. You just instantly forget what you're talking about. Well, if you're looking to keep those instances to a minimum and keep your memory charged up, well, guess what? There are a few things you can actually do. Arlene Pellicane, author of 31 Days to a Younger You, she's here to show us how we can strengthen our memory at any age. Welcome, Arlene.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so guilty at this. My husband is probably sitting at home watching, thinking, I am so glad she's doing this.
We hope you're listening.
Yes, my memory, I have the worst memory. So it's nice to know there are things that we can do.
People think that, oh, I just have a bad memory, and you just chalk it up to that. But there are things that you can do to strengthen your brain power, and they're really easy. They're right around your house. One of the things that you can do is learn a new language. Now, this may seem a little daunting for people, but Rosetta Stone has made it easier than ever. It's immersion based, so you feel like you're just having fun while you're learning a language, and it's very intuitive, very easy to use. Now, this is a bit of a financial investment, so if people don't want to do that, you can just Google online language learning and find all sorts of tools so that the next time you go to an Italian restaurant or to a Mexican restaurant, you can at least say, you know, may I have this taco?
So even if you can't learn it completely, just learning a little bit will help?
Yes, they've studied monolingual brains and bilingual brains, and they've seen that those bilingual brains have denser gray matter. So, as you learn a new language, you're strengthening that brain.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yes.
Thank you for that tip. Okay, let's talk about playing like a kid again, because I have to tell you, one of my favorite things to do, even now as an adult, is go to amusement parks. Go on roller coaster rides. I love it. It's so much fun.
It's being young at heart, but it's not only young at heart, you can keep your brain young. A lot of times when kids are playing, these are called widgets, this is Legos. When kids are playing, we as adults, we often watch. We just watch the grandkids or watch our kids, niece and nephew. Why not join in? So just sit down with them, try to build something, and you'll find that, you know, it took my son like 2 seconds to do this, but it takes me like, okay, where does this go? You know, we need a little bit more help, and that's good to do.
Because you're using a part of your brain that you've kind of stopped using since you were a kid, right? Is that why it improves your memory?
Brain is like a muscle, and so you can think, oh, it's going downhill, but just like you could lift weights to help your physical muscles, you can also do things like this to help your brain muscles.
Okay, so what about adult games, like puzzles? We have heard a lot about that lately.
Yeah, a lot of people love, like my sister-in-law, she loves Sudoku, people love crosswords, so if you really like words or math, this is a great way to go and very inexpensive.
I am guilty. I do words with friends on my iPhone all the time. My husband gets so annoyed. Okay, so let's talk about switching up our normal routine.
Yeah, we get kind of stuck in the normal routine. We go to the same places, so why not drive a different way to work? If you always bring your lunch, why not, you know, go out or vice versa? And then even having a meal at home, close your eyes for 1 minute while you're eating and your senses will kind of pop. So doing things, because our brains are in, you know, you get kind of in that autopilot mode. So when you challenge it, it's like, oh, what's going on here? You know, I can't see, and you're thinking. So that's a great thing to do. Another thing is learning a new word a day. So for instance, keep the dictionary by your cup of coffee, and as you're drinking that cup of coffee, learn a new word. One I learned this week is howdah. Do you know what a howdah is?
I don't.
I know. It's a seat on the back of an elephant.
Okay.
So when when I'm with my kids, I could say if they're complaining about how uncomfortable they are, well, at least you're not on a howdah. So so you can use these different things, and it's kind of fun conversation starters and a fun thing to do.
I like that. Okay, so what about just foods we can eat around the house? This is something simple we can do.
Yes, this is very easy, and these are good for your brain. So dark green leafy greens are wonderful. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, filled with antioxidants. They've shown that blueberries can help against dementia and against Alzheimer's. Those are great foods. And I've shown you here an ounce of nuts. There's almonds, an ounce of almonds and walnuts. So those are great for your brain. And
even
then just kind of keep it, and even dark chocolate.
I like that.
So it's exciting. So the main thing there is to try to keep that at an ounce, but that helps your brain. So those are great. Those are great brain foods, and they taste delicious.
All you have to do is eat. I like
right.
that. Thank you, Arlene. And for other ways to strengthen your memory at any age, make sure to pick up a copy of 31 Days to a Younger You.